diffusion, osmosis, mediated transport, endocytosis, exocytosis. These are the main functions of plasma membrane. We have seen one by one about diffusion, how substances which are outside of the cell are allowed to go inside, how the substances are inside goes outside with the help of diffusion, osmosis. You have seen three types of solutions also: hypotonic, isotonic, and hypertonic solutions through various examples like resins, egg, root hairs present in the soil. We have studied about the mediated transport also. What will happen when the concentration of substances are against the gradient? Then the cell uses its mediated transport through facilitated and active transport. So after that, endocytosis. Endocytosis is a very complex process which is used for very small amount of molecules, foreign particles can be engulfed inside the cell. And finally, the last process is exocytosis. Exocytosis means cell vomiting, in which some useful substances as well as some harmful substances can be thrown out of the cell one by one. So these are the five functions of plasma membrane. After that, one thing more, plasma membrane is present in plant cell also and in animal cell also. So the basic function of plasma membrane, it allows the substances to come inside, as well as it protects the cells also. Okay, so there are many mechanical functions of plasma membrane also there. After that, now from today, cell wall. See, cell wall is a highly rigid, non-living, and most important, it is freely permeable membrane, and it found only in plant cell. So why cell wall is present only in plant cell? Due to various reasons, like plant cells do not locomote. Locomote means they do not move from one place to another place. So at that position only, in same place, they have to suffer, they have to tolerate different types of temperature, pressure. That's why they need a highly graded protection which helps them from different conditions. So here, plasma membrane and cell wall is far different from each other. See, we have studied plasma membrane is very delicate, thin. Here it is thick also, rigid also. It is non-living and freely permeable. Now, what it is chemically? Chemically, cell wall is made up of cellulose, hemicellulose, and pectin. So, cellulose is what? Cellulose is a carbohydrate. It's a complex carbohydrate which forms them. So many cellulose fibrils, this is the cellulose microfibril, they helps to bind hemicellulose and pectin. Pectin works like a glue. Okay, it is a glue which helps them to make it like a, so all three attaches themselves. After that, see, this is the part of the cell wall. It protects here, and after plasma membrane, they are found here. Next, what are the functions of cell wall? See, there are mainly four functions of cell wall. First is it allows plant cell to become turgid. What do you mean by turgid? Turgidity means it allows the cell to change their shape. It easily swell also, shrinks also. It provides mechanical strength to support the cell. So it maybe at some time cell gets ruptured also, so at the time they helps them. It makes freely permeable to water and substances in solution. See, to stop anything comes inside the cell, plasma membrane is there, already is there, but they easily allow some water. It has some narrow pores called plasmodesmata. This is very important, plasmodesmata. What do you mean plasmodesmata? Plasmodesmata helps to make it freely permeable. Many intracellular connections is done by the plasmodesmata. And the last one is the cell wall of adjacence is glued by middle lamella. Middle lamella is what? It is a layer between two adjacent cells. It is a layer which is made two adjacent cells and it is made by calcium and magnesium pactate. Okay, these are the four functions of plasma, four functions of cell wall. Now, sometimes what happens, the plant cell gets loses their water. How they lose their water? At that position they are called plasmolysis. Means what? When a living plant cell loses water through osmosis, so there is a shrinkage of concentration in the protoplasm. So all amount of water goes outside of the cell, and that situation is called plasmolysis, or we can call it plasmolyzed. This shrinkage of cell in animal is called crenation. You have to remember it. In animal cell, if the cell gets shrinked, it's called crenated cell, and if in plant cell, it's called plasmolyzed. Okay. Now this is the first part of the structure of cell, plasma membrane and cell wall. So quickly, you have to understand the difference between cell wall and plasma membrane. Okay, so these are the points. For example, plasma membrane and cell wall. So in plant cell, cell wall only occurs in plant cell only, but in plasma membrane, both plasma is present in both plant cell and animal cell. It lies always outside of the cell, means after plasma membrane is there, it is lies inside the cell wall and outside of the animal cell. It is non-living, very important, and it is living, rigid, it is quite flexible, it is freely permeable, but this is selectively permeable. Okay, it is made up of what is chemically made up of cellulose, hemicellulose and pectin. It is made up of from protein, some amount of protein, carbohydrates. Okay, the major function is to protection strength of the cell, and the major function of animals plasma membrane is to hold cellular content, control passages of the materials out of the cell. Okay, so these are the most important part and difference between cell wall and plasma membrane. Moving to another slide. Nucleus. See, we are on the slide, very important part of the cell called nucleus. So the many name of the nucleus is the brain of the cell. It controls all the activity of the cell. Okay, so nucleus is a large, centrally located, spherical cellular component. We can call it the largest structure in the cell is the nucleus. Okay, so nucleus is basically divided into three regions. First is the nuclear membrane. See, this membrane is double membrane. Okay, so you have to remember this double membrane, and this both double membrane called nuclear envelope. We can call it nuclear envelope, and this envelope is made from two membranes called nuclear membrane. Okay, this membrane is connected to a system of membrane called ER. ER means endoplasmic reticulum, means this nuclear envelope is connected with nuclear endoplasmic reticulum. After that, what is nucleoplasm? It is the liquid ground substance where it is See this part, this dotted part is called the nucleoplasm, which contain, very important, which contain chromatin, and this chromatin contain DNA, the genetic material. So the one mark question can be asked here, where chromatin is found, or they can ask you where DNA is found in the nucleus. So the nucleus is found at in the nucleoplasm. Now after that, nucleolus. What is nucleolus? Nucleolus is not bounded by any membrane. This one not bounded by any membrane. It's freely and rich with DNA, RNA and protein. So here again a question comes here, where RNA is present in the whole nucleus. So you have to answer in the nucleolus. So nucleolus is rich with RNA and protein. And where ribosome is formed, so ribosome is formed inside the nucleolus because they both contain RNA and protein. Okay, the factory of ribosome is called nucleolus. Understood? DNA is present. Now you are at the 9th standard. If anyone asks you where is DNA present in the cell, so you'll answer only nucleus. No, you have to answer it in the nucleoplasm of nucleus. Okay, and where is RNA present? RNA present in the nucleolus of the nucleus. Fine. Now inside the nucleoplasm, first you have to see the chromatin network. What is chromatin? Chromatin material is a thin thread like intertwined mass of chromosome material which contain the genetic substance called DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. And this chromatin is composed with DNA and protein. Which protein? There is a special type of protein is called the histone protein. What do you mean by histone protein? Histone protein is a binding protein. Okay, so here it's a binding protein is there, and this all distinct segments of DNA are called genes. Okay, and if they condense means all different DNA, if they accumulate at one place, they are formed genes. Okay, and another definition of gene is also there. What do you mean by gene? Gene is a fragment of DNA which is responsible for any character is called gene. Okay, now they forms, and during the cell division they form a ribbon like structure called chromosomes. So what do you mean by chromosome here? So it is a thread like structure which usually present in the nucleus and becomes visible only during the cell division of mitosis and meiosis. Means the chromosome is a thread like structure which is seen during the cell division, and we have studied two types of cell division, mitosis and meiosis. Okay, now the chromosome contains some hereditary information. What do you mean hereditary information? Means it contains the genes, and these genes are situated on the this chromosome. So this chromosome have two components, DNA and protein. Which protein? Histone protein. And these proteins are acidic in nature because it contains phosphate group. Okay, now this is a photograph of a cell division which is taking place. During cell division they have taken it, and see there are two parts. The first part here and here, two parts. This is called chromatids. Here they are called sister chromatid. Why we call it sister chromatid? Because they looks like same. And there are other types of chromosome also depending on their chromatids: acrocentric, metacentric, submetacentric, telocentric. There are different types of chromosomes are also present. Okay, after division of the chromosome they become like this, again they divide it. Okay, so this is the structure of chromosome. Fine. Now moving to another part. Depending on the chromosome, we have divided two types of cells. First is the diploid cell, and second one is the haploid cell. So what do you mean by diploid cell? What is diploid cell? The diploid cell is that cell which contain full number of chromosomes. Very important. Full number of chromosomes. They are called diploid cell. And what is haploid cell? This contains half number of chromosomes. Okay. So if you want some examples, see, diploid cells means are those cells which can full number of chromosomes. Suppose your cheek cell. Okay, any other cell except your sex cells. These are called what? Somatic cells. All diploid cells are called somatic cells. Okay, and haploid cell is what? Haploid cells are called sex cells. Sex cells means germ cells, and these germ cells participate in sexual reproduction. For example, sperm, for example, ovum. They are used in reproduction. So they are haploid cells, half number of chromosome. If you know how many chromosomes are present in human, that is total amount is 46. But if anyone asks you how much chromosomes are present in sperm, so that is 23 chromosomes. So 46 by 2 means half, make it half with 23 chromosomes. So these are called haploid cell. And to denote diploid cell, we write 2n. And to denote haploid cell, just write it n. Okay, so 2n means full number of chromosome, and means half number of chromosome. Okay, in plants also we get some examples like triploid cell also. So if you want to write, then write endosperm is a triploid cell. Okay, now moving on the last part, that is the functions of nucleus. There are main three functions. First function, they control all metabolic activities of the cell. And if they ask you what will happen when the nucleus is removed from the cell, then what will happen? There will be no protoplasm. They dries up and die. Don't write directly the cell will die. No, you have to write it. If a nucleus is removed, the protoplasm get dries up. What is protoplasm? We have studied in first lecture also. Protoplasm means the living content of the cell. It's called protoplasm. Okay, now it dries and easily dies. It regulates the cell cycle. Very important, cell cycle. It helps to maintain the number of cells in your body. When cell has to divide, when cell has to stop division, who controls it? The cell cycle controls it. And if the cell cycle gets disturbed through various reasons, then cancer takes place. Okay, what is cancer? It is a uncontrolled division of cell. And how cell division gets uncontrolled? Due to some carcinogenic chemicals, some genes, some viruses. That is due to this. So it's very important they control cell cycle. And the last, it is concerned with the transmission of hereditary traits. Traits means characters. For example, your height is a character, your skin color is a character. Okay, from parents to offspring. Okay, so these are the three main functions of nucleus. First is it controls your metabolic activities. Second is it regulates cell cycle, and third is it concerned with the transmission of characters or traits from parents to offsprings. Okay, so this is the picture of a microscopic view of cheek cells. Okay, so we're using methylene blue because methylene blue is a stain which is used to stain particularly a nucleus. So we can take a scrap of cheek cells and put in the microscope using methylene blue. We can view your cheek cells like this, and here is the nucleus. You can view easily. Okay, that will do this experiment in lab after the when school opens. Okay, so these are the, so the nucleus is very important. Okay, and name some cell in which nucleus is not present. Okay, so two examples are there. In animal cell, mammalian RBC. Okay, In the mammalian RBC, nucleus is not present. Yes, it is present at the time of initial stage of the RBC, but when RBC gets matured, the nucleus disappears. Okay, one example, first example is nucleus. Sorry, RBC, mammalian RBC, and second plant cell is sieve tubes. Sieve tubes type of cell present in the phloem of tissue. Okay, in phloem, sieve tubes are the cells which does not contain any nucleus. Okay, so this is the second part of the structure of the cell. Understood? Now, moving to the third main structure called cytoplasm. Fine. Now, what do you mean by cytoplasm? So here the definition: the part which occurs between the plasma membrane and nuclear envelope is called the cytoplasm. Obviously, I told you in the last slides also, the space between the nucleus and the nucleus and the plasma, that space is called cytoplasm. And this cytoplasm contains two parts. First is the endoplasm, which is in a granular mass, and the layer is present on the upper side of that endoplasm, that is called ectoplasm. Okay, which is called its cell cortex also. After that, this cytoplasm contains aqueous ground substance called cytosols. Very important. This which contain various types of insoluble waste, storage products, and cell organelles. And we have to study cell organelles. Okay, so the main part of the cytoplasm is cell organelles. So what do you mean by cell organelles? Write the functions. This questions came 2 or 3 times in your exams about what do the functions of cell organelle. Okay, the various functions of cell organelles is to synthesize many substances like protein, lipid, photosynthesis of food, all are manufactured by this help of cell organelles. It has to secrete cell products, enzymes, hormones, mucus, many are there. They help in the intracellular digestion by the enzymes of lysosomes. Okay, lysosomes helps in endocytosis process. So the enzymes are manufactured by lysosomes. So they helps to digest them, and it's very important. They help to generate energy, synthesis of energy, which is called ATP. Okay, by mitochondria. So there are many functions of cell organelles, and cell organelles are very important for the cell because this is the main part of the cell organelles. Without the cell organelles, what the cell can do? Nothing. Okay. So how many cell organelles we have to study? One by one we'll see here. See, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosome. Okay, where is endoplasmic reticulum, which is outside of the nucleus? Ribosome, which is present on RER. RER means what? Rough endoplasmic reticulum. The main function of the ribosome is to make protein for the cell. Golgi bodies. What do you know Golgi bodies? Golgi bodies is a secretory organelle which helps to secrete many substances, for example melanin. Okay, due to your skin is the skin color is present. Lysosomes helps in digestion. Suicidal bag, it is called. Plastids, very important in plants. They helps to give color of the leaves, color of the fruits. Okay, chloroplast, particularly will study chloroplast because chloroplast takes place. Chloroplast helps in photosynthesis. This is chloroplast. We see here mitochondria, very important. This is the powerhouse of the cell. We'll study it properly. Vacuoles. Okay, what do you mean vacuole? Vacuole is present in both plants also and animals also, and their roles are different in plants and animals. Peroxisomes, you will study here first time. Peroxisomes are also very helpful because they help in detoxification of substances. And finally centrosome, and this centrosome helps in cell division. Okay, so various cell organisms are present. We'll study one by one. Okay, so the task for you all is, we have studied till cell organelles. Okay, just go through it, study line by line through your book. Okay, I'm very happy that you all are asking questions more. Okay, and I'll try to satisfy you through your questions, through my answers. Okay, so meet you soon in next video. Till then, goodbye.